Hey guys, welcome back. Patrick here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jumbotron as well as a couple of the different options that we have for the buttons that we can add throughout the Bootstrap website that we're building. Now the first thing we're going to do is open up where we left off, which was, if you can see here, the test page along with the nav bar that we had. Now we're going to add a Jumbotron to the top. Now the interesting thing about the Jumbotron is, like we have this nav bar extending all the way to the sides, we can do the same thing with the Jumbotron. That's how we're going to set it up. Optionally, we can actually, in fact, have the Jumbotron only go to the extent of these test boxes right here. We're not going to set it up that way today, but I will go over exactly how you would set it up that way. So let's go ahead, open up where we left off on the notepad, and start by adding our Jumbotron class to this area. Alright, so div class equals Jumbotron. Alright, now if I close this class off right here and refresh, you're going to see the actual Jumbotron. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save on that and refresh, and you'll see it right up top there. Okay, but now we have to add some information to it. In order to add that information, we're going to need to go ahead and we're going to have to put the container class inside of here. Now if you notice, I put this above this container, and that's just to keep the Jumbotron separate from this region below. So I'll go ahead and add a container class in here. Container. And I'll close that div. Alright, so now anything that goes in between these two purple sections is going to be within this region right in here, because that's the container. It's specifying that it's on center at these dimensions, and it follows all the rules of the media queries that are being called within the Bootstrap stylings that define the dimensions at various mobile sizes. So let's go ahead and add a header class, which would be just the h1 call. Alright, and we will say, we'll call it our static page, and we'll close that header class. Next we'll add a paragraph class, and we will say this is going to be some blankety blank information, and we'll close that. And then why don't we add another paragraph, and we will say that this is actually our first button, a class equals button. This defines it as a button. And then we have a variety of different ones. So there's the default button, and that's the first one we're going to look at. And then we can define the size of it. Button large. Alright. Then we'll say href equals asterisk role equals button. Alright, so now everything's closed off. If we go and hit refresh, save, refresh, you'll now see we have that information. And we can add just some generic lipsimorum text to that. So we could just go, or ipsum lorem, this is my generic ipsum lorem text. Hit save on that, refresh. Now you can see that information's there. If we expand that, you'll see it scales appropriately. Alright, so now we're starting to get something looking nice here. And that scales down. Alright, one thing we can also do here is actually change the different values for this. So we could have default primary, blue, warning, orange, and these are all built in. Info, danger. So just a variety of different options that are available. One thing to be aware, you can customize these any which way you want. All you need to do is simply override their existing stylings on it. And the easiest way to go about doing that is through your custom CSS sheet. Just make sure that is called after your CSS Bootstrap file. So essentially what you do is the easiest way is inspect element. Take a look at that piece right there. And you'll see right here background color and border color right there. And then from there you can just shift all that information around to whatever you want. And all you would do is just say button danger. And you would put that styling in your CSS sheet right here. And you could change those colors around. And that would automatically call over. Anyways, so that is our first static page for the Jumbotron. We will be looking at more elements and building this website out and making it much more complex in the next tutorial. So stick around and don't forget to subscribe.